Boop.
Hey,
hello. Okay, I can't look at you. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a while since we recorded a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
Yeah. 我不知道哎，都懂，就被 picture 了。
Yeah, well, okay, a lot has happened. Let's go through some of the things that have happened since we last recorded. It's just what I don't actually remember when we last recorded. Maybe about a month. I got to think about what's happened in the last month too. So
It's a long time.
Big one is we did the national conference.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Because already a month ago, so I don't remember that much.
It's like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think last time we were talking about it's a little bit not easy for you to plan the conference, right? There was, there's as you're planning the conference, there's a little bit of grieving because of just remembering, just how things used to be and how things were. Because you used to plan them. You planned 5 of them, but that was 5 or 6 years ago. But then also it was not the easiest to kind of wrangle everything together and plan the whole thing and information and the finances and all. But you did it.
Yes.
Yeah. When you think about the conference now, what are you feeling, thinking about? What are some highlights of the conference for you?
When I prepare the conference, I just feel no hope.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't want to give up though.
Yeah.
Just too hard. Everything like finances issue, and then also the teamwork. Also find a space fit to everyone's need.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of kids. We have 50 kids under 18 years old.
Right. So there's both the complexity of finding a space that can hold 100. How many YWAMers? 50, 20?
Yeah.
Around that. 100, somewhere between 120 and 150.
Is the first one?
YWAM?
Oh yeah. I mean, what I mean is that are you saying first one?
No, I'm just talking about in general.
Oh,
you can just find a space to hold this many adults plus 50 kids, plus have things for kids to do, have it be
kids program,
and
babysit. Because we also have a 20, 25 under 3 years old.
A lot of kids who are under 3. Yeah.
So it's it's pretty much the age gap is really big.
Yeah.
So I just need to find out a lot of, just pretty much this hotel or this place need to have a lot of place can they use, but also cannot do it too expensive.
Yeah.
But we're not in the church. The church have a lot of room, but we're not in the church. It's in hotel. We need to rent a meeting room or small meeting room, but cannot be too pricey. So I mean, finances it is an issue for us.
Yeah. So there's a practical struggle in that, but I think that there's also a maybe a vision kind of struggle with it too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like doing a prepared conference, you need to have a vision, national conference. The vision is for you prepare this conference or maybe the retreat. So you actually want to meet all the YWAM, they can really rest and then also rebuild. It's called rebuild, yeah. And then they can kind of when they go to conference, they can really get something, and then bring it back.
Yeah, and I think that there's also just this thing where we were able to be together with our global family and LTS.
Yes.
And
connect to the national level.
Yeah.
And also the global level.
Right. And so, just kind of for movements, I think especially YWAM, there's something so important about the gathering, the meeting together, that is more than just learning.
Or a meeting. It's not a meeting.
Right, more than just a meeting. So, which those are important, but it is all the stuff that happens outside the meetings, the connection, the relationship,
care for each other.
And then you not only get to hear the vision, but you also just get to feel that. You get to feel that from everyone. You get to there's definitely it's like the meeting together is so much more purposeful than just the things that you do, but the things that you do are also so important. It all feeds into each other, and really having a vision for the conference being not just something that we kind of have to do, but something that can kind of ground you back into your identity as a country, as an organization, to build excitement for the future, to communicate, who are we, what are we doing, and, just everything. It's really, really important. And for you, it was a little bit of a struggle to bring that feeling and knowing that these things are important. It felt a little bit like when you do DTS, you kind of come back and tell all your friends, hey, you got to do this thing. What is it? Well, okay, it's like 3 months of lecture, 2 months, but it's so much more than that, right?
Yes. It's like it's a little bit hard to kind of really showing people how good is it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then and then the ideas that you have to kind of implement that, people are like, but why? And it's kind of like,
I think
trust me.
Something I need to learn is be more communication well. It's just I have a lot of things in my mind, and then I also know the vision, and I want to describe, but I feel cannot describe so well, so people can I get it, So people kind of why we need to do this, why we need to do that. It's nothing. Is it really need to? Just I think it's hard.
Yeah.
是我的问题啦。
But and I've said this to you a few times, but just it makes me realize, like in the book that we read for LTS, right? In The Making of a Leader.
Yes.
That there's like, as they talk about, the development of gifts at different seasons. They're like, not everyone has that communication gift. But at a certain point in your leadership experience, you need to learn how to develop that communication gift to clearly and concisely and practically communicate your ideas to the people that you need to communicate to. And everyone, even if it's not your primary thing, needs to learn how to communicate clearly. But the thing that makes me excited about hearing you say something like that is that this is a time where you aren't just, how do I say this? You aren't just doing something, but you are moving into how do I lead? And it's a pretty different skill set to not just do something. Because when you used to plan the conferences before, it was, national office, tell out Brenda, and you were mostly the how do I get this done?
Tell Brenda, yeah.
Right. Yeah. The national leaders.
And also, most of the same culture. My leader and I, we just the same culture. So a lot of time the communication is pretty easy. I mean, even right now, this team, the new team, what I partner for is also same culture, but leaders different culture. I feel I do feel a lot of different perspective for the culture side. The communication part, especially.
And this time too, it's also just not you being told what to do, but you also saying, hey, I actually believe here are some things that are really going to be important for us. And what was so cool, I think, about the conference was a lot of the things that you were really intentional about were some of the really impactful things in the conference. Right?
Yes. Like a YWAM store or YWAM
or the gateway.
Gateway.
And it was, which essentially was like, it's like a little archway. And we just kind of celebrated the year that every single staff in the conference did their DTS. From the most recent to the oldest one. Yeah,
everyone need to kind of walk to that door.
Yeah.
And then it means like I'm pay the class, did the DTS, and then follow the calling, follow the road.
That's right.
And in Y1, so I feel like a Y1's value, every detail, detail things you just need to really celebrate for.
Celebrate.
Celebrate for.
Right, and I think that was one of those things that we really got from Kona, which was celebration. And I think we hear that. I've heard that a lot of leadership too, right? They say your culture is defined by what you celebrate and what you let slide. And I think that idea of like, what do we celebrate? And I think that, when every single person from the, on the worship team, one of our youngest staff was like, oh, I'm one of the first people there. And I'm like, yeah. And then we went all the way to like the, I don't know, mid 70s, right?
Yeah.
And I heard a young staff say this. She said, she's like, I thought this would take forever, but it did take a while. It was most of our evening session, but she was like, it was so awesome and so meaningful to just celebrate. Because she was like, I went through the door early, but then I saw other people. I was kind of like, wow, I got more and more excited. It's like, this is who we are. And it's like, that's exactly the kind of thing. It's like, we got to celebrate. This is like you said, we've all paid the cost. We've all decided that we want to, give our time,
Follow
our youth.
Jesus.
Yeah, to follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And to be part of this organization. And it was like, it was something that, it's interesting, you hear Taiwanese churches talk about how they want to do retreats, and a lot of the staff are like, it's just the pastor lecturing us. And it's just the pastor just telling us more information. And I think that, I remember the church that I worked in, we were thinking about, how do we plan the first retreat kind of back from COVID? And we were thinking about doing things like this. And one of the church members said to us, hey, if we're not being taught something, I don't know if I see the value in going to a retreat. And I really think about this conference in contrast, where was there a lot of strict teaching? No.
It's not sit there for like 2 hours,
Yeah.
just listen anything,
Right. But it's like you felt something. You felt a sense of identity, purpose, belonging. Because even the idea that you had too of, it's like, can we hear the testimonies of
From other locations.
Especially
a lot of locations stay in Taiwan for more than 20 years, actually.
Right. Yeah.
They have a lot of story, but we just don't have a lot of chance to hear them.
Yeah.
Like a share testimony or share how good is God with them,
Right. Yeah. And so it was one of the sessions was focused on the stories of pioneering in Taiwan.
Yes.
And then another one was stories of pioneering in the nations. And you got to, like you said, hear the stories from our elders, from those who came before us. And is it strict teaching? No. I'm not sure if I remember. I don't know if anyone gave any lessons to say, okay, now here's how you apply for mission, right? But then so many people, because I forgot how many stories there were.
6.
Testimony 6, okay.
Yes, 6 person.
And it's like, I talked to a lot of staff, and it's like everyone had a different person.
4 person? 6 persons?
6 people?
Yeah,
6 people.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think persons is actually still correct. But it's like everyone had this the kind of a person or two that they really caught onto and latched onto and were inspired by. And that's like, we're talking about like left brain, right brain. That's a right brain thing. Which is like,
I cry every time when I share the testimony. I just cry. I feel like whoa.
Right.
It's so hard. The pioneer is so hard, but God really was them. God's faithful.
And they said it's worth it.
Yeah.
And
我现在想到还是会想哭.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, I still feel like a little bit emotion.
Yeah, right. And
it's hard.
And it's like there's something about connecting to that that's just as important as, or maybe even more, I'm not sure, than just straight up learning something.
I feel straight learning something is about the knowledge in your head. I feel sometimes a story, testimony, especially for Taiwanese, oral and the communication way.
Yeah.
It is really kind of into your heart and in your life,
Yeah. And what we've been learning is that that's the place it's the beginning of transformation. Not head knowledge, but actually moving into your heart and your life. And it's like, I'll say nice things about you, not just because you're my wife, but just because I think that you fought for trying to do these things that were atypical or not normal, because usually it's kind of like invite a speaker, have a theme, talk about the theme, just hammer that theme in. And I think that what we tried was to, it's like, I'm sure you learned something, but it's like there's a certain sense of belonging, identity. There's a certain feeling that was trying to be communicated about who we are and what it means to move forward that I think really resonated with a lot of people. Yeah. Good job, baby.
谢谢。I feel like through this conference time, I really like to like a kind of prepare the event or like this kind of conference, encourage way, more just like encourage people. It's really maybe feel encouraged too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because so I'm talking a lot.
It's important.
I do feel like it's not for lack of commitment that anyone is here. Everyone who's here is extremely committed. And what they don't need is a lecture to tell you be more committed or try harder or even pray more. Because people are genuinely trying really hard, praying a lot, doing their best day by day. And I think just that, like they said, that encouragement of, I'm glad you're here. Here's who we are. Here's what we're excited about for the future. Let's do this together. It's like, and then it's like at least starting from a place like there, which it's like if you know who you are, you know where you belong, if you know you're accepted, then I think all the other stuff's going to come easier, And I think like we can talk about that locally, but even on a national level, to just say, here's who we are, here's where we've been, here's maybe where we're going, and here's where we are at the moment. And I'm really excited for you to be here. I think it's just such a special, I don't know, it's just really special.
I also feel because I feel like we prepare this time, like people sharing testimony and then encourage other people, because everyone have a chance, but just kind of can go there to go up to sharing. Make people feel it's not like a just speaker and the staff.
Right.
It's more like everyone have a chance, and then this person I knew, right?
I know this person.
I know this person, and I hear their story, and it's really encouraged, and then also connecting their life. I feel important thing is connecting their life, personally.
Yeah. There's so much more actually about the conference that happened too. Like worship times were just really so special. And I think also for you too, Sid, fighting for, give it as much time as it needs.
Yes.
Really,
I just kept, when I pray for the conference, I just feel we need more time to just quietly calm down. Like just not think about too much to like, I only have a 20 minutes worship and we're going to move on to somewhere. It's not this way. I really want to leave a space for God to speak to people, Yeah, so I feel I'm fighting for that. I'm fighting for everything, most of the time. I'm sort of tired, but it's good because people really receive, from an hour worship, 45 minutes. Yeah. But I still feel like if next time I have a chance to do the worship, prepare conference again, I would like to make the schedule more loose. Yeah. Because I feel it's Taiwan. I think this is Taiwan YWAM style, really kind of intense, everything. Just intense in a conference. But I feel everyone's life already intense enough.
Yeah.
For conference, I really want to just kind of quietly come to meet God.
Yeah.
In different moment,
Yeah.
That's right. And it got encouraged,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think what's really funny about the conference is we left the conference feeling a little bit, I don't know if discouraged is the right word, but feeling a little bit
for me, I feel discouraged.
Yeah, and feeling like I don't know, Lord, I don't, or that feeling of like, it's like Isaiah or Jeremiah where you're like, I tried to be obedient and I got thrown into a pit. It's like I got thrown into a hole by the king, or just no one listened to me, and I think like because I think that we had expectations about what it could be like, and I don't know if maybe it's coming from Kona, or maybe it's just kind of we were very idealistic, right? Just,
maybe.
And I think we were, or maybe as people working behind the scenes, really seeing a lot of the flaws and the areas of that need improvement. But I think like I've been really encouraged because as we've been listening to people and hearing feedback, that there really was a lot of people who encountered the Lord, maybe had a call or a vision for something new, or really were touched by the stories, or even for you right now, one of the big emotions that you have is being really touched by the testimonies. Sorry, the car's not letting me in. Being really, and I think just realizing that, it's like I might have a feeling about something, but actually a lot of the feedback in reality is that it was really good. And I think that occurred to us as we met with the organizers of the worship teams, and how
happy too.
Yeah, just how released and excited they felt, and it's like, and we were like, oh, sorry, it's so busy. They're like, no, this is what we do. We like this. If there's anything I want to be busy on, I want to be doing this, and how freeing and releasing it was, and it was just. It was a healthy kind of perspective shift as we got feedback from different people, So yeah, we're already past 20 minutes. But good job, baby. We did the conference.
Also, have a lot of things I'm really happy for. It's like we can pray for YWAM. I'll pray for Taiwan.
Yes.
Kind of deeper way, praying. I pray for every. I mean, YWAM have a 7 spheres. Yes. What 7 spheres do you know?
Off the top of my head, but family, religion, education, government, celebration.
少2个。
I don't remember.
Education 已经有了吗？哎呀，我也忘记了。
Education.
Family, yeah. So
okay.
we have a 7 spheres.
And well, let me maybe actually explain this. Like the idea of 7 spheres comes out of the founder Lauren Cunningham, just asking this question: How do you disciple a nation? What are the areas and places where if you want transformation, if you want God to be working in a nation, what is the classrooms, right? How do you sit in that place and learn and teach? And so those are kind of like these 7 areas in different places, whether it be family or church or government or whatever, where you're like, yeah, these are different places that God wants to move, and it's not only missionaries who go, but it's people who really get into the culture. Okay, and so that's the idea. These 7 different spheres of society.
Yeah, I also think about for people think about missionary, just like you leave your own country and go somewhere to learn language and share the gospel. But I also feel, actually, for example, Taiwan only have a 2% or 1% or 10%. No, how many?
That's about 5%.
Yeah.
Taipei is 10-ish%.
Kind of, yeah. It's still Christian, right? 10% is Christian, but still have a 90% not Christian.
Yeah. And Taiwan 95%.
Yeah, and then that means still have a lot of people didn't know about gospel.
Yeah.
And then if Taiwan, every spheres, every work area, I'm not sure how to say that. People got training, and then back to their work, but they know in this heart we are a missionary too. Like a missionary in a work, in a business. It's gonna be really powerful to kind of touch people is the not a normal Christian or normal missionary can get it.
That's right. Yeah.
你可以讲一次呢，我那个 idea.
Yeah, where I think it's we in YWAM it's kind of like twofold, right? Where it's like we want frontier missions. We want to go to places where no one has gone before, right? And where God is, right? Go to where we're not, right? But then also just realizing it's like we also and celebrating that, and also celebrating that there will be people who touch the heart of God and return to work and return to being a, I don't know, stay-at-home mom, or return to being a, a politician, or just, a person who does media, a person who makes music, and saying
even
that,
an office lady,
or an office lady, right?
Or government office lady,
right? Or just wherever you are, or you do sports, right?
Yeah.
Or you do entertainment, and no matter where you are, just saying like, yeah, I really want to carry the heart of God and missions, and show the world through all the means of life and communication. It's like a Martin Luther thing, but it's like, that everything has its value, and celebrating that too. And I think as we're preparing this, as we're preparing this, like praying for Taiwan thing, right? We found this map of Taiwan, and then we're praying, and putting up little fish on the map, and as we're kind of looking at like different demographics in Taiwan, we were like, wow, there's actually a lot of foreign workers in Taiwan. Right? There's a lot of Filipino workers, Vietnamese, kids who are mixed, kids who are, but just seeing the different groups, right? Where you're like, hey, there's kids who just don't, under-resourced, who are from under-resourced places, who maybe drop out, or single moms who are going through different things, or the working class, and you just start to realize that, yeah, there's absolutely, the need for, missionaries, but also just regular Taiwanese people just going to some difficult places, and everyone going everywhere, and you need the whole body, and as we were praying for that over map of Taiwan, a few round, so pretty much you had 500 fish over a map of Taiwan.
Yes.
And we were praying for the locations we are, praying for locations we're not, and every time you pick up a fish, and there's its own individual little group of, that you could pray for over this place in this area. And we had a few rounds of that, and there's still so many fish left over, and that actually was, giving some people a call and excitement and a vision for even new places and new ideas and new groups in Taiwan to be praying for, and really getting into the spheres, and not just doing the religious work, which I think it's like I'm very comfortable with it, at least. I love church work. I love working with Christians. I'm extensively good at that kind of thing, but just being able to get the whole heart of God for this whole country.
Yes. Yeah, so it's really good to just deeply pray for Taiwan, every area.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that. I mean, making that little prayer intercession call is really tiring.
And
I need to do bilingual, English and Chinese,
right, So ChatGPT is very helpful.
Yes.
And then also the half dozen staff who stayed at the office late that night.
Everyone.
Or
Use
2
their
days.
eyes in hand.
Yeah, to print it out and cut up the little piece of paper, stick it onto the back of the fish, and be praying for Taiwan. That was really, really cool.
Yes. So for the conference, what I want to say is like, even I have a challenge, but I still really thankful God let me can do it.
Yeah.
And then I feel I kind of finished well. I feel really thankful God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also really, really changed my mind. Even sometimes I have a different, maybe maybe the team man is not what I want, or maybe I'm not a good leader, but God still, in this team, in this all conference preparing time. I'm really thankful, God.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even in a bigger point, I think also just continuing to have the expectation, even as we hit our 30s, or really in the middle of our 30s, of continuing to grow as well.
Yes.
Where it's like, I also just can't have the expectation that I'm going to understand, or we're going to understand, or we're going to do a perfect job, because we're also still, in some ways, in some things, really inexperienced and need help and are going to make mistakes. And I think there's still a giving ourselves and the people around us a lot of grace, because it kind of doesn't matter how old you get, you have to keep learning. And I think having to keep that level of humility to say, sometimes I don't got it, or sometimes maybe I communicated that, but I didn't do my best, or didn't do the greatest job, or whatever it is. It's like, the point being, giving ourselves a lot of grace to do our best to get into uncomfortable situations, sometimes not get it perfectly and make mistakes, and still saying, okay, I keep learning, and try not to think of myself or my ways as just perfect too, you know. Which is like, yeah, we just keep growing, we keep learning. We're not done, you know. Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah, that's it. I mean, for conference side.
I know there's so much more that happened, but it's 30
Yes.
minutes, so maybe we got to record another one earlier.
Yeah, to update our personal life.
Yeah. Okay, maybe next week. Yeah, next week. Okay, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Thank you guys so much for your support.
And appreciate.
Phew. Okay. See ya.